Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of that positive trend in the UK grocery market may have been already discounted by investors because we already knew that the sector is a beneficiary of the pandemic, especially the penetration to online shopping. And that could actually, going forward, slow down a bit because now people are actually starting to go out more, they're probably dine out more and spending more on services instead of actually spending on grocery as people actually go out more than staying at home. So I think that probably could be less of a upgrade due, even because of these great numbers currently.
All right, Janet, always good to talk to you. Thanks very much for joining me today. Still to come here on Ian King Live, I will be speaking to this year's winner of the most prestigious engineering award in the UK. Don't go away.
Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and intact? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination intact. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world in adjustment. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
all around the world. In your car,
At work.
at home.
On your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile. If you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you're listening to Starr. Okay, hello, good morning and welcome to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Today is Tuesday, the 6th day of July, the year 2021. Time now, 10:44. Let me sincerely apologize for the late start of the program. Try to sort or fine tune some things for you, our lovely, cherished listeners. But I'm Archie, and once again, I welcome you to the program. But let me say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you on other planets as well, we salute you all and we welcome you to this program. To my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Laimi Koiki, and Kojo D, good morning. And then to the wonderful Sherman, he said good morning to you. Taiwo Samson said good morning from Nigeria as well. Sherman said well done job. Then Abraham Mawula says government must release all our innocent agitators in Lagos and Abuja. As I said yesterday, keep the fire burning. If you believe in the cause, why not? You have to stand for it. Unless, of course, you don't believe in it, that somebody's lured you into it. But if you really believed in it, as we say, convicted. You have that conviction, then get on with it. Some way, somehow, as I say all the time, the challenges might be very high. Yes, we might be facing some battering from left, right, center, and everywhere. But tenacity is the game. Keep on keeping on. Welcome to the show. All protocol observed. And once again, welcome. Now, for those of you listening to us for the first time, I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast is going to follow suit, then the travel update. Move on from there, we'll have a look at some of the stories making the rounds, known as Global Trotting. Then at 11 o'clock, we'll have Mr. Laimi Koiki, who will be joining us to bring us updates from Nigeria. But to our wonderful listeners there as well, those of you in Nigeria, you can be sending us those stories that are going on there as well, and I promise you we're going to be bringing them all out. Then from there we'll be going on to other parts of the world to look at some of the stories making the rounds there. But as it's been playing in the background, don't you cry. Everything's gonna be alright. For sure, I can promise you that. Because we've seen it time and over again. Let me say morning to Sister Gina Latte, wherever you are, morning to you. At 12 o'clock, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions, and then we'll move on from there. Exactement. At 1 o'clock, we bring the curtains down for the end of the program. But make sure your dials are still logged on Star Radio UK, and I plead with you, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Once again, welcome to the show. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Don't you cry. Everything's gonna be alright. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. To those of you on the Facebook, yes, like I said, Abraham Mawula, thank you very much for all those updates, and I promise you we're going to be going through in a moment. But now let me quickly bring you the quote for the day that says the difference between where you are today and where you aspire to be tomorrow lies in your knowledge and skills. The difference between where you are today and where you aspire to be tomorrow lies in your knowledge and skills. What do you think? It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let's say good morning to Abiola Olani Kaolani Yen. Hope you are doing very, very well as well. Starr Radio UK. Okay, so when it comes to the weather front, this morning it's been quite rainy and a mixture of it there here in London. But let's see what is going on in London and the sides of England. But you want to share with us what is happening in your area, feel free to do so, alright? Now, it will be a breezy day with showers drifting in through the afternoon. This will be locally heavy in places, but sunny spells will also develop. Now, it will stay breezy into the evening, and overnight showers will largely ease and some clear spells will develop. Some patchy cloud will push in towards dawn, but it should remain largely dry. Starr Radio UK. Now, the total temperature is going to be 19 degrees, the lower is going to be 13 degrees. Pollen level is going to be high, UV level is going to be moderate, and pollution is going to be low. Sunset 21:19, sunrise for tomorrow morning 04:51 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today, Tuesday, the 6th day of July. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the morning show once again. Okay, we take a commercial break and then we look at the travel updates for you. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, so keep it navigated. I promise I'll be on the Starr Radio UK travel app that I can to every weekday from 10:40 onwards. Now it's now 10:51, so while How is your travel this morning? Okay, so on your travel this morning, those of you in the UK, or London to be specific, on the underground, Bakerloo line is partly suspended. No service between Stonebridge Park and Harrow and Wilston, while they fix a signal failure at South Kenton. Good service on the rest of the line. London buses are accepting tickets. Now, when it comes to the Metropolitan line as well, there are severe delays between Wembley Park and Aldgate due to an earlier customer incident at Finchley Road. Good service on the rest of the line. But London Overground is partly suspended. No service between Willesden Junction and Clapham Junction while they fix a signal failure at West Brompton. Good service on all other London Overground routes. Keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads as we promised. And we will keep you going. So keep your eyes on the roads. Check it out. On a TFL rail as well, there are incidents there. Let me bring that your way. Minor delays between Liverpool Street and Shenfield due to a damaged overhead wire or overhead wires at Liverpool Street earlier today. Good service between Paddington, Reading and Heathrow. But check before you leave. That aside, all the others, good service there. Now moving on to the river bus this morning. Woolwich Ferry has still got reduced service due to industrial action. That aside, all the others, good service. Now moving on to the National Rail this morning. Great Northern Railway has got minor delays. Great Anglia, minor delays. South Western Railway, minor delays. And Thameslink, minor delays there as well. But continue to keep your eyes on the roads whilst we keep you navigated. On the final segment of the travel updates, that is the major roads in London. A1 has got closures, A13 closures, A4 closures, Central London Red Roads closures, South Circular A205 closures, and A20 serious delays. So once again, let me say it loud and clear. Well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes right there on the road.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Okay, yes, everything's gonna be alright. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's go global to our tin. As I say all the time, get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate or applicable. Get yourself seated, or if you're standing in a very comfortable position, because it could be bumpy. Some of the news that comes around makes it quite bumpy, but I promise you that I'm gonna get you to your destination. I'm gonna be your captain. Of course, I am Archie.
God will be there through the rain. God will be there.
We should be having Mr. Olaimi Koike joining us. But some of the stories that is making the rounds in Nigeria, Southern governors behaving like Kanu Igbohu, ADP chairman, is saying there. We're going to be telling you more on that. And then, henceforth, members of the terrorist sect will be collecting 5,000 naira monthly from traders and farmers, while the fishermen will pay 2,000 naira per bag of fish, among other levies. The impudence, their arrogance offends me, you know. But a lot more going to be coming from there. Mr. Olaimi Koike will be telling us. But let me say thank you very much to Abiola Olayinka for posting all those comments there as well for us. Starr Radio UK.
Come on.
Now when it comes come to some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK. Yes, cases could rise to 100,000 a day. That is what Sadi Javed is saying, the health secretary. Cases could go that high in the summer after restrictions end on the 19th of July, the health secretary is saying. But what we know, the prime minister said, come the 19th, well, we're going to check all the protocols where, you'll not be charged for anything. If you want to protect yourself, go on and protect yourself. Everyone for himself, God for us all. Now, US left Bagram at night with no notice, Afghan says. And it says American troops quietly withdrew from the key air base in the early hours. New base commander says. So they left the place like that. To what fate? Starr Radio UK. Israel government fails to extend the citizenship law. The controversial law bars Palestinians who marry Israelis from being granted citizenship right. Oh, my people, my people, my people. A dozen is missing on plane in Russia Far East. There are reports that the passengers plane carrying 28 people crashed into the sea of Kamchatka. More coming your way. Hong Kong arrests teenagers over terror plot. The group is accused of plotting bombings as officials warn of dangerous ideologies in the city. And Germany to lift ban on UK visitors. Some of the stories making the rounds there. It is Starr Radio UK. Australia ex-MP alleges sexual advance by minister. On the African continent, Egypt denounces filling of Ethiopian dam. And has Tanzania really changed course on COVID? Some of the stories making the round. The president, my apologies, Samia Suluhu, has adopted a different approach from hair covers skeptic predecessor John Magufuli. Eswatini king is a shepherd who won't flee. Daughter says His Majesty is a shepherd and wouldn't be king if he would leave his country behind. She says. Let me talk to you. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Distressed parents awaits news of abducted students in Nigeria, Northwest. That's one of the stories we're going to be looking at. And now the kidnappers have the impudence now to be telling them how many or what they're going to be taking. What? If you're a farmer, you're going to be paying 5,000 a month. That is your toll. Now we get into the time of the jungle life, where we have Robin Hood, and they come and tell you this is what we're going to be doing. And if government is not being able to protect its citizens, and the citizens decide to now take things into their own hands and protect their lives, why? Who have the right to tell them that you cannot do that if you are not providing what they need? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. Now moving on to some other stories making the rounds in Ghana as well. We are tired of Akufo-Addo's dictatorship, and this is supporters cry as they march. Is the president a dictator? Well. Well, the chairman of the MPP also said that MPP is committed and dedicated to public service. Freddie Blaine. Now, interestingly, if you say so, and we see that we are being swallowed by judgment debts, then you ask yourself, what planet do these people actually live on? Okay, Starr Radio UK. It's 11 o'clock now. Any moment from now, you'll have Ms. Olaimi Koiki, who is going to be joining in to bring us updates from Nigeria. But let me acknowledge a couple of people who have joined us here as well.
From side to side, everybody. Gonna be alright. Be alright.
Olarinwa Joe Taiwo says, Start Radio. Good morning, Starr Radio. Yes. Adebawale Idowu Aladesami. I hope I didn't massacre your name. I apologize for that. It says Yoruba Nation now. Busayo Tiamiyu says Radio. Good morning, Starr Radio. Good morning. And good morning to you as well. Good morning morning to you all who have joined in this morning to listen to us. Continue to share your messages and let your comments come through as well. As I said, when the lines are open, we'll allow you to do so. At this juncture, let me just wait for Mr. Olaimi Koiki to join us whilst you also enjoy this music. Stay tuned.
Yeah, little darling, don't you cry. Brother man, dry your teary eyes. Don't you know God is by your side? From side to side, through the fire, He will be there. Through the storm, God will be there. Through the rain, God will be there. Take your burden to the Lord in prayer. Lay them all down and leave them there. Where are my regular ones? Come on. Don't you cry. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't you cry. Oh Lord. Every little thing will be alright. Don't you cry. Worry no more. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Oh, it's gonna be alright. Mike Chapona, come on. Yeah. Jambena, Sembena, Jarabena. Let me talk to you. Sika Semno.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Koto Semno. Yeah, now if you won't come on, you never try Yesu. Now when you Semno, catch it right on no kwa. Now you tell them. Yeah. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't you cry, little darling, cry no more. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Tell your neighbor, don't you cry, shed no tear no more. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Take it away, Vivi. Don't you cry no more.
Oh, yes, don't you cry no more. Don't you cry no more. Everything's gonna be alright. A friend tells me all the time, just put your back into it. Believe in the cause that you are standing for and pursue it. Some way, somehow, there's a way that things just resolved and you think that, whoa, I never thought this could happen. It could be even earlier than you have even imagined.
Take it away, Vivi.
But whatever it is, still believe in the cause that you are standing for. And I tell you, go for it. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I've got Mr. Olaimi Koiki on, but let me acknowledge a couple of people before I come to him. Let me say good morning to Michael Godwill. Godwill. How are you doing? Ogunwale Oludare Benga. I said good morning to Starr Radio UK. Israel Shodimu. Good morning all. Ogunwale again says we are waiting for the update from Koiki. Oh, he's ready and he's going to be bringing that to you. Busayo also says thanks for the announcement of our nation here. May God bless your handwork. Yes, God bless you too. I mean, if you are charting the call, that is good. I mean, why not? We are here to support you, and therefore that's what we are going to be doing. But at this juncture, let's cross over to Nigeria, where we have got Mr. Olaimi Koiki all ready to give us the update as you are all awaiting. So let me say, Yomi, good morning to you. Hello, Yomi.
A very good morning, Mr. Archie. Good morning, Frank. I can hear you. I hope you can hear me back in the studio.
Yes, loud and clear. How are you?
Yes, good morning to you back in the studio. Yes, very good. Very quite warm weather from this side of the globe where we are broadcasting from. And I say a very good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the world, and welcome again to the Starr Radio UK Morning Show.
Okay. Yes. Let's quickly look at some of the stories that is making the rounds. Topmost. The meeting that took place yesterday. The Southern governors, who are now being the ADP chairman, saying that they are behaving like Kano and Igboho. They are behaving like, as they call them, the agitators. So, what did the Southern governors decide on? What agreement did they come to for these people to now claim that?
Well, yesterday was one of the meeting to the follow-up of the one that took place on the 11th of May 2021 when that meeting was held at Asaba. And, that came up with about 8 agenda. And, about the one that came up yesterday, I think is about 10 agenda. And I'm going to quickly go through those agenda that gave the reaction, of the ADP, political party, the ADP chairman, rather, Sani Yabagi, the national chairman of the Action Democratic Party, who have said that the governors of the southern extraction are behaving like, Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu in their gang up, to gang up against President Muhammadu Buhari and the entire North. So this reaction is forced out of so many that I'm sure we will be getting before the end of today. But what exactly have the governors said? We had, governors from the southern part of the country that came for that meeting. And like I said, after an intense, hours of discussion, they finally came out of that meeting and we had, what was their response to so many of the, incidents, whether, as a chief security officer, by not giving, a notice, just similar to the invasion and the assassination attempt on Chief Sunday Igboho's house in Ibadan. We have a governor that is a sitting governor and also the chief security, but it seems, he was not aware, based on the communique that came out yesterday, that, we can't continue to have invasion or security operatives, taking place within the state, and the state chief security himself is not totally aware of that. So this is generating a lot of conversation this morning. A lot of Nigerians are waking up, to that as well. But one thing we could say is, have they done enough, when it comes to, this meeting? What will be the reaction of the federal government? I've not been able to see any statement released yet from, the governor, the president. But this is the 10 things that we need to put into perspective, and then I'll come back straight to you to the studio. Next president must be a southerner. Demand the inclusion of electronic transmission. Demand for electronic transmission of election result. That is also expected, from the INEC. Security institution must inform governors before any operations in their state. Just like I said, we saw what took place on the 1st of July. 2 innocent lives were killed. Properties damaged, and likewise, that assassination attempt as well. September 1st have now been set for the promulgation of anti-open grazing. State police must be created. We've talked about that so many times, but I will allow us to explain into that when I come back straight to you in the studio. And number 6, they rejected the PIB. Remember, we talked about the petroleum, industry bill, proposed 3% share of oil revenue to the host community. They support a 5%. So people like the Niger Delta and some of those oil, community, where the PIB says they'll be given 3%, some of those southern governors have rejected that. They want 5%. And number 7, out of that, meeting outcome, they've also rejected a proposed 30% share of the profit from the exploration of oil and gas in the basin. Number 8, they've rejected the ownership structure of the proposed Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, which is known as the NNPC. And number 9, they've rejected the confirmation of exclusive jurisdiction in the pre-election matters on the Federal High Court. And number 10, they've chosen Lagos as its permanent secretariat. Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. The best way to listen to us is to download our apps on iOS and Android, and make sure you tune into us every Monday to Friday on the morning show. Now, come back to you now, straight to the studio in London.
Yes, Mr. Olami Koike bringing you updates from Nigeria. We'll be diving deeper into all those stories. But before I bring Mr. Frank Davis on as well, let me acknowledge Kafaya Omosalewa Olowoyin. Yes, good morning to you. And Terry Omo Alade says, Eku Eto. Okay, I hope that Yomi will explain, will interpret that.
Equato. Well done for the program that you are doing.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now I'm learning some Yoruba now. When the nation is set, you have to make me a citizen, automatic citizen. There. Nuruddin also say Equato, and Yoruba is Isokan. It says Omayo. Hashtag Omayo. Hashtag we move, hashtag Yoruba Nation, no going back. Okay, Lamidi Kamolidin Kamoli says good morning. And then Kani says, all Yoruba citizens in Libya country, we don't want one Nigeria again. Tell Nigeria government to give us Yoruba Nation. Now, Skibi Tunde Adebanjo says, God will over bless you. Wow, thank you very much. Alhaja Adiola Akim Pello says Yoruba Nation now. So thank you very much. Let your comments continue to come through, and I promise you I'll do my best to read them. But at this juncture, let me also say good morning to Mr. Frank Davis as well. Frank, morning.
Actually, good morning and good morning to our listeners, our viewers, and allow me good morning to you. For those who are following
good morning to you, Frank.
We say good morning and a special thank you to them.
Now, how are you doing?
Actually, I'm doing great.
Great. Good one there. Okay, let's go to the updates, and then I will come back to you, because I know that behind the scenes we've been discussing what is going on in Nigeria, how we're thinking that this doesn't make sense, but well, that is what is going on. But we'll be having a detailed look at it once Mr. Olami Koike finishes with the update. Now, let's look at what the Southern governors, their stance and what they are doing now. They're talking about that that law that was going to give them to retain 3%. That's what the federal government was going to give or retain in their various communities or states, and they have come to say that no. So what has changed this tone of our conversation? Because all along we know that they've been there and we've been criticizing them, saying that they are from these groups or the southern sector, and we expect that they will represent the Southerners the way they're supposed to, which we've not been seeing. But for what reason have just immediately, like, there've been a switch, and now they are just now thinking proactively. Now, what has brought about that?
Well, I think one must have also brought up the emergency of this meeting is some of those development in regard the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, in the last couple of days, and also the invasion of Chief Sunday Igboho's house at Ibadan. I mean, these could be a very difficult time for the governors as well, as much as most majority of them are under the ruling party that came into power in 2015, and then we also have the opposition there. I mean, if you take the governor of Oyo State as an example, is a PDP and also an opposition to the current political party, which is the APC. If you go back to the other part of the southeast as well, they are completely different political party as well. But they've come together as a standing bloc from the southern part of the country to decide, some of those issues affecting them. Yes, I mean, at some point they would definitely have to hold a second meeting. But like I said, those second meetings have to be brought forward for whatever reason after some of those latest developments. And you can see that, from what we heard of them on the 11th of May, when we were reporting back to you and our listeners, some of those stands have also changed slightly because you can't continue to have oppression from the security operatives, whether from the federal government, but yet the chief security of the state is definitely not aware of some of those operations, and that could be a very dangerous situation, because we've had again, which somebody like the senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, have spoke against it as well, and he said the situation where the federal government security agency, the DSS, went into Igboho's house. Falana, in an interview with one of the mainstream media television, says DSS acted like armed robbers. I've listened to, the interview granted also by, the Professor Wale Soyinka, the Nobel laureate, and he has also said that the DSS, in terms of whatever people might think, this is what he has to say. You can say you intercepted as much as you want, but I think Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. That is wrong internationally and morally. And I'm sure part of the reason why the governors have to make this meeting as quickly as possible. I come back again to you in the studio. Star Radio UK, it is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, where we are transmitting from the southwest of the country, Nigeria, and back to you in London, where you are in the studio.
Yes, Frank, let me come to you straight. Now, we talk about these southern governors who, for a reason, some are in various, the opposition, and some are in the ruling government. Now, like I said, Olaimi was saying, just suddenly, like their eyes have been opened to what is going on there. We've been criticizing them all this while for those actions or inactions. Now, do you think that their voices will be heard by the ruling government itself?
Actually, thank you. I think it's a very historical move that has a conversation has started. That's the first thing. There's no problem that can be solved. There's no solution that can be found without a dialogue. And for me, I commend them for the initiative to at least put their party differences aside and look at themselves as brothers and sisters within a region, and want to basically see how they can work together for the peace of that region. That is the first thing. Now, because all these government, like Olami was saying, we have the PDP, we have the CPP, and or whatever APC, you call it, APC, and whatever you call it. You might have them, but there's a common goal. The the southern part of Nigeria. That's what they want to do. Now, there are two things that are likely to resolve we are likely to get out of this. First, they can form a very strong union and make some demands on the government through their senators and their representatives in the parliament. They can do that, which will be a very strong force and a voice that the government cannot say no to. It will be very, very difficult. Because you're not going to be able to say, we're treating the APC differently and we're treating this, and the governors also have some leverage, some power within their state. The issue about military and the security operations in a state without informing the region, or what they call the state security chief, is a no, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. So I think that is a no, and I believe some of those. But the danger that we face, if our association, the South here, becomes something that we're going to use as a weapon against the other part of Nigeria, it might not be good. The Southerners have always complained that the resources are mostly based in South and Southeast. However, the Northerners or the Fulanis or whatever seems to enjoy the greater part of it. Actually, the danger over here is that, one, we might attract inflow in terms of human movement from the north towards the south. If we get to a point where we say, we're retaining a disproportionate high percentage of what is being exploited in the south just for the south. If we do that, we'll end up creating a two-tier. We know some areas are already developed, some other, but we'll end up officially creating a two-tier system where the resources that are proven today become rich, endowed, developed, and the other areas where basically we do not have a lot of resources then become impoverished. That is not going to help, because you end up having two problems. One, conflict will start coming. People will start migrating towards the areas of the
affluent areas.
That's the danger. It is based on this. That is why we thought that central governments will be the best alternative distributors and redistributors of wealth wherever it's coming from. Unfortunately enough, they have not succeeded in doing that, which is leading to this agitation. My only hope is that it has not become a tool to basically see South as, we are independent South, and therefore we do not want to work with other, especially now that we know it's a one Nigeria. When we get to a point where probably we cease to be Nigerian, Oduduwa nation, Igbo nation, Ambazonia North, or whatever you want to call it, then we might be able to, do what work towards that. But we should be careful that it's not used disproportionately against other, because if you have London generates a lot of wealth.
Yeah.
Right, but it's redistributed across.
Yeah. But somebody will ask you the question that that's a percentage. Is a percentage not left in London? Because if somebody is saying, you said 3%, they said no, we want 5%.
Yeah,
that is not bad.
I think that is not bad, because at the end of the day, the other thing that they can do in terms of their bargain is to look at the environmental consequences of such exploitation.
Yeah.
The damage that comes with that exploitation.
Yeah, environmental.
For instance, if I live in Kano and there's oil spillage, there's pollution of the coast, the person in Zamfara state does not suffer the consequences of that.
Yeah.
If I'm a fisherman and I'm in the South River State, and because of activities of this oil exploration, I am not able to undertake my fishing again, I suffer the direct consequences of that, and therefore in one way or the other I must be compensated. So yes, a percentage retaining itself to address some of those social and environmental problems and any related problem that will be, especially deprivation of livelihood. So if you seize people's land, you construct roads through their lands, and you're going to exploit a resource, the people deserve a bit of compensation. And if you're going to be dealing with all that, the fumes that comes with trying to explore and tilt or basically tame the environment to be able to exploit those resources, yes, they are also due a bit of. So yes, a percentage. I will even go as far as a 10%.
10%.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think even the 5% is?
Yeah, I will go as far as a 10%. And by with that 10%, a 5% of that should be engineered towards correcting the harm that such exploitation
has caused, and then the 5 will be for development.
Because there are some people who might come from the south, but there are some people who are directly affected along the resource baselines. Those people must be looked at, because some of them, their children cannot apply what their great grandfathers used to, their livelihoods will be taken away from them. So that system needs to be engineered to that way.
Okay. Listen to Starr Radio UK, Mr. Frank Davis. We'll be coming to Mr. Olaimi Koiki, but let your comments come through, as I promised you. I promised to read them. Now, Abi Haskell says, we want Yoruba Nation now. We want out of the zoo. Okay. Now, Lisa Goon says, God will always bless you and Yoruba Nation. Prince Yende Omotola says, please, morning Starr Radio UK, please, we need update on the people that were arrested in Ibadan, Chief Sunday Igboho's Osha House and Lagos rally. We'll try to bring that your way. We'll try to see whether Mr. Olaimi Koiki has got any updates on that. Skibby gives a thumb up. Simon O. Adebesi says, cool or armed robbers. That's a big one. Gestapo styles and tyrant serial murder. Now, Abiola, some more stories coming from there. Israel Shodimo says, once again, good morning. Do you think the government has meant what they said? Why now? What changed? They've never supported agitation. So what changed? They just buying time yesterday. So you see the question that we are putting. Let me finish the question. This is the comment. Then I'll come to you. Big London Wale says Yoruba Nation now. Latif Olamele Khan says good morning. We don't want Nigeria. Anyone who all that we want is Yoruba Nation. What Lagos State government and Lagos State police did to Yoruba agitation is totally bad. So they are looking at the demonstration that took place last Saturday. Salami says they are watching. Thank you very much, Salami. Muritala, Ayola, I stand with Igboho. Okay, let your comments come through. Kai Courage, Ariskola, Oyekan, Taiwo Kike, lots of you. Thank you very much for all the comments. Frank, a quick one before we go to your...
Actually, this is what we've been saying, and that's why I keep on asking the question, that when we call for formation of our own nation, what is going to change? What are we going to do differently? What is there to show that the people who today are the same, or they are part of our problems, are not going to be the same people? How many years have some of these governments been involved actively in the politics of Nigeria. How many times have they occupied their same? What have they done to better the lot of people who are now crying for help? Now they're beginning to congregate, and then they'll start carrying their castles and that is whatever as leaders and representatives
of the people.
So that should victory even come at the end, they then begin, oh, I was a governor before, who negotiated this. Are you get again? They just grouping themselves up to steal from. I mean,
the new nation that is.
If the new nation come, these are the same people. That's what I'm saying. If we do not take care, the burdens, the problems that are causing us to cry today, will be carried with full bucket full by some of these same people and dumped on us in a new nation. Because nothing would have changed apart from
the name.
Yeah, nothing would have changed.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to Yomi. Can you encourage more like say broadcast the global rally? Okay, we will do that. Now, Smart Akimbe says Yoruba Nation now. Peter Akinyemi says Yoruba Nation now. Keep your comments coming through. Let's go back to Yomi. Yomi, now what has that response that they want, the governor say they want 5% of whatever is taken from their states to be left there or kept there. Frank is saying that he thinks that even 5% is too small. They will need about 10% to do that. Now, what has been the reaction of people in the Yoruba and the South? Let me call it that way.
Well, the South are kind of a bit more, very skeptical when it comes to the outcome. Just like people are asking you that, why now? Why are they coming out now? Is it because we saw that finally the mega rally went into Lagos, and those that still believe that Nigeria can still work will say these are part of what they probably want as well, but they've not been given that same opportunity for these governors to have acted in as much as they are part of the party system. I mean, yes, when you look at asking for a state police, the 1999 constitution that we're using currently does not allow that. It is part of the 68 clauses. When you look at Zamfara gold belongs to Zamfara, but yet the Niger Delta oil or the resources, the bitumen in the southwest and on those days, which is number one or number two in the world, belongs to everyone. So you could see that the stance of these governors would definitely start bringing out the real true self of people that wants to react to it, whether those that are in support of the disintegration out of Nigeria, or those that believe that Nigeria can still work, but yet some of these are the reason why they've been asking for more into some of the states as well.
Allow me, hold on for me. Let's get clarification on this.
Yeah.
Allow me, you made mention of gold deposit in Zamfara state. And if okay, if I get you, are you saying that the resources in Zamfara state by your constitution belong to Zamfara state?
Not by the constitution, but the governor believes that the Zamfara gold belongs to Zamfara people and not to the entire Nigerians.
And what has been the stand of the federal government on that?
Well, the federal government have not said much on that. I mean, these have been, the deposit of the resources under the Zamfara state have been exploited, have been exported, not even exploited alone, but yet, there hasn't been much from the federal government. These are part of the reason why, you could see that the governors are demanding more from their side in terms of the increment from the 3% that you just talked about there to about 5%.
So, on one hand, we had resources being exploited in two different parts of Nigeria. One governor seems to have much control and much say about how the proceeds of such resources are distributed. And then on the other side, the governors do not have
control,
a much say in that. That can't be right. That can't be right. No,
that is not. You're not treating the whole thing as one nation where
that can't be right.
There is that equal.
There must be an equal playing field.
Yeah. Okay. Some more what posts is coming in. Let me just read them quickly, and I'll come to you, Yomi, for some of the other updates. Now, Arise Scholar says freedom must come by the ballot or bullet. Okay, Arise. There's lots of that you said, but I want to summarize everyone's. Now, Taiwo Keke Fasemi say no going back, Yoruba Nation. Salami Moritala say I stand with Igboho. God be with you, inshallah. Okay, I'm doing well now. Israel Shodimu says there are several pollutions when it comes to drilling for oil. So why is 5% to be given to the communities where government gets the income? Not has nothing to give except kidnapping and banditry. Okay, and Key Courage says global mega rally all for all Yoruba and Igbo people on the 21st of July 2021. Yomi will be telling us more about that one as well. Key Courage global mega rally. Okay, Smart Akambi says Yoruba Nation. A few of you also Peter Akinyemi Yoruba Nation, Antonia Dedeji, Olamile Ken, Akinde Ola Israel. Lots of the comments coming. Princess Adebimbe Adeyemi Awuniyi. Are they sleeping because of the time? They are all sleeping towards our agitation. So he's talking about the governors that they were sleeping before the time. So what has happened now? Omaliken says Mr. Layomi, Eurobets in Canada are the Canadians. By this time, we know it's very early in the morning, but we know that you are all enjoying the program. You can go back to the broadcast later on and listen to it, but when you have time, join us. Okay, Yomi, if you're a farmer, you pay 5,000 naira a month. If you are a fisherman, you pay 2,000 naira a month, and that is what the kidnappers, people who are causing mayhem in community, people are causing people not to be able to go about their economical duties, are saying. And what is the federal government doing about it? Sitting there quietly, smiling over it. What is all that about?
Well, let's take us back to the rice farmer that eventually were killed, even though they thought they had laborers that were never a real laborer, but rather part of the sect of the Boko Haram, and eventually slaughter each one of them one after the other. If you remember that story, last year in Zamfara State, that took a lot of community to run away. But if you then have a stand to want to continue, whether you're a rice farmer or you are a fish, and I hope you can still hear me back in the studio.
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
Okay, you will then eventually have to pay, what the ISWAP believe is a kind of a levy. If you're in that sector, 5,000 naira has been levied on some of those community, and likewise 2,000 naira for those in the fishing industry. I mean, this is quite an upsetting, story to be even discussing, especially, with some of these rural areas that I've been able to visit, in the last, couple of months that we've been in the country. You could see that, those kind of 5,000 naira might not be a lot to an average Nigerian that have the means, but for those that are working tirelessly, when you work up the 18,000 naira minimum wage and you remove 5,000 naira from that, and then you talk about those in the farming sector that are struggling, especially with the situation of the insects, that continue to create more havoc. Then the question is, what more can the government do to stop these, nemesis as well? And that can then quickly take me to the update that I put out earlier on, during the conversation that you were discussing the kidnap of innocent children from the school. The numbers seems to be a little bit vary, but from what I can say, more than 100 children were kidnapped. And this is the message that was released yesterday from Gabashe, with a special advisor to the president. President Buhari charges security agency to intensify effort for the early release of kidnapped students. President Muhammad Buhari yesterday directed the military, the police, and the intelligence agency to ensure the safe and early release of all the kidnapped victims, expressing concern over attacks on Kaduna and Niger State, largely targeted at the student. Let's now try to look back a kind of a track record that I've been able to bring forward in terms of the atrocity similar to that. It's exactly 11:35. If you're watching us, this is Star Radio UK Morning Show, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And, we're transmitting back from the southwest of the country back again. I was looking at the father of one of the students that was just kidnapped yesterday, praying right opposite, the wall that was broken into, where the insurgency eventually took away adopted student of the Bethlehem Baptist Secondary School. But I want to give us, and the total from, like I said, is varied, but, people are saying 100, but some are saying about 150. How could 150 students be taken away? And then that goes back to, those that are paying this kind of levy fee, would they pay the levy fee? We've seen, terrorists, moving around in their motorbike in community, and nothing has been done yet. I'm going to come back to you in the studio, but as soon as I find that, the total number of those incidents that have taken place, since the insurgency, in Kaduna precisely, then I will come back again to you quickly in the studio.
Listen to Star Radio UK, Mr. Laimi Koike in Nigeria. Mr. Frank David here in the studio with me. I am Archie, and we are bringing you the morning show. And this is the segment where we bring you updates from Nigeria. Olami Klein says that, those of you, all Yoruba people in Canada, he said, you people, you are chilling out too much. You have to put your heads together and let the fight continue there as well. That is in summary what they are saying there. And is it Pastor Mo Adesanya? It says Buhari destruction of Chief Sunday Igboho's house and property is clearly a vengeance against the way Wakili was sent away. Wakili was a man who was terrorizing and killing farmers in Igangan. Okay, yeah, and then Igangan. Okay, Abi Haskell. So it says nothing is working. Zoo in working zoo called Nigeria except killing young adults and small, including raping. We need our Yoruba nation. Okay, Alhaja Adiola Akimpelo, thank you very much for your comments there as well.
Okay.
But yeah,
I mean, I want to understand. I don't know whether I'm getting a bit confused here. Because if what Olami is saying, I'm getting it right, and if I'm not confused, then it's serious enough. Let me take you back to Iraq.
Yeah.
Northern part of Iraq when ISIS established a caliphate. Trying, basically what they did was to their dominance, their rule. In establishing any nation, any state, any territory, one key component in that is the ability of the citizens in that region to pay taxes to their masters, to the governors. Are we being told that part of Nigeria now that criminal gangs, hoodlums have established a system where people engaging in lawful economic activity now have to obtain license in form of taxes?
That's right.
From the criminals? Is that what we are? Olami, is that the case?
Oh yes, that's the case. Yes.
It's sad. It's sad. I was looking at it.
Which state is that, Olami?
Well, this is the northern part of the country, precisely dominant around Borno State, Zamfara, where the insurgency have become more, stronger, in those states.
Okay, because actually, okay, when you take a gun, you want to throw government.
Yeah.
They call it treasonable offense.
Yeah.
If you listen to the second most senior lawyer in Nigeria, the person said he's an educated idiot, a bit anyway, was saying that people rising to protest and demand this thing was a treasonable offense.
Yeah.
This is more treasonable than anything because this tells you that you have taken control, because if you are able to implement a system that tells people not backed by law but backed by your law, because someone must determine how much is paid, who is paid, accountability and all those things, and the government is not doing anything about it.
No. They forget about those words. Let's go about people who are agitating that we think that we are not being treated fairly. But when you hear stories like that, then you ask yourself, will it be wrong if somebody who thinks that, look, I wouldn't have every 5,000 every month to pay to say that I'm going to arm myself so that when they come, now I'm going to fight or defend myself. Do you think that person is wrong, or I'm going to make sure my family or my tribal people are defended? Do you think that person is wrong? That's what we want the federal government to come and tell us. Because assuming they've gone around, clamp down on all these people, there is peace in Nigeria, and then we have people agitating, and you say that, well, whatever they are doing is wrong, then somebody will say, okay, we seem to agree with you. But when people are just doing this,
let's just give a background before again, this is still Star Radio UK. This is the background of the attack in Kaduna State alone this year. Let's go back. On the 11th of March, 39 were kidnapped in Afaka. On the March 13, unsuccessful attack on the GSS at Ikara. On the March the 15th, 3 teachers were kidnapped. April the 20th, over 20 kidnapped in GU. On the June 10th, 10 kidnapped from Polytechnic. And on the 5th of July, which was just yesterday, over 100 kidnapped from the Baptist school.
Well, so if you are a family man, if you are what do you call them, maybe a local, your family or your extended family, you are the head of that family, will you just sit down and say, okay, let that go on, and when people rise up to talk about it, or say, let us make noise about it so that those who are leading us will know that this is wrong and we are not happy with it, you arrest them?
You see, we know locals can collect taxes, but that is backed by law. For instance, the federal government and other things will institute that, you can call it property rates. Just to generate revenue. But that must be backed by law. Must be supported and must be rooted in law. And the people's representatives must be able to pass those laws. But if we're going to have people who are not people's representatives and all they have are arms to be able to implement a system that collect revenue, intimidate people to collect revenue, I wonder why even the state governors have not acted. Again, that links to whether they have their own security.
That is it.
Because the deployment of every security will have to be authorized from the federal state. And here we are now. Actually, a lot of reform is needed across Africa. Not Nigeria alone.
Seriously. Now, Joe Albright and Maximum Martin says that is what we are saying. They even collect permission before going to farm. So before you go to your farm, you have to go and see them, seek permission before you are allowed to go to your own farm.
You don't mean it.
That is what he is saying. He said that is what is going on. That is what is going on. Now, Pastor Mo Adesanya says it is so sad that people in the southern part of Nigeria are accommodating this evil, especially the traditional obas and politicians, instead of facing the truth and support Chief Sunday. He's talking about those who support that cause, making the noise.
But basically, they are establishing a state within a state.
Yes, it's like in the olden days, Robin Hood or Gideon in the Bible, that thing. You cannot go out. That is what you have to do.
This is a new dimension that I've been open to today. Because that's serious enough.
Tunde Olawani says, I hope our governors are our governor are sleeping before, but now they are waking up. Now, and the Pastor Mo continues to say, woe to Nigeria, a country where corruption, nepotism, human killings, etc. are now legalized. Buhari is evil. International community must see to this. He sums it up nicely. Yomi, let's go to some of the other stories that's making the rounds there.
Well, time fast spent, and I'm sure we're just going to go straight what is trending on Twitter so that we can start winding down as well. Atiku is trending, Tinubu is trending, Buhari is trending, Abuja is trending, and I guess Atiku is trending, based on the outcome of the Southwest governor, in terms of, saying the next president should come from the Southwest as well. As much as a lot of people have different views and different opinion on Tinubu as well, Buhari is trending as well, based on so many of the, incident happening. I've been following the governor of Benue State, Autumn, and he has said again, I have made several appeals to Buhari government to arrest Miati Hala leader who vowed death on us. And, yet, these individuals have not been arrested yet. We've seen the killings, continuously, in Benue State. Herders and farmers clashes have claimed several lives in Benue in the recent month. According to Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State, Benue State is meant to be the food basket of Nigeria, says he has made several appeals to Muhammadu Buhari-led presidency to arrest the leadership of Mayati Allah Kota Horo, who vowed to ensure that blood flows in the state because he enacted a law against open grazing. How this Mayati Allah is going to respond, because part of that open grazing ban will take effect from the 1st of September in the southern part of the country, and I will have to wait and see what their response is going to be. Elders herdsmen clash have claimed several lives in Benue in the recent month, according to the governor. As a result of the Watam killings, many communities have now been in disarray, and residents are now seeking refuge in the internal displaced person camps are scattered across the state. I will leave it there for today, and I'm just going to come back to you in the studio with the Starr Radio UK.
Yeah, Yomi, before you okay, Frank,
you see, interestingly, this header says this headman issue which is causing the problem. Last 2 weeks when we spoke to one of the chiefs,
Alhaji something, I've forgotten the name.
Alhaji Bashir Suleiman.
Okay.
Who is actually one of the chiefs, one of the MS.
The Fulanis.
Fulanis.
Yeah.
He made it clear that there's nothing in their practice, in their religion or whatsoever, that says that they can only do open grazing. I was educated over there. He also said that they welcome ranch system because they have land.
Yeah.
If they can be helped to put out ranches, it will stop moving from one location to another.
To the other, yeah.
He also went ahead to say that the Fulanis originally from Nigeria do not engage in what we are witnessing.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That most of the Fulanis that
are behaving that way
are from outside the
foreigners,
countries.
Yeah.
If this is a chief who leads a huge population of the Fulanis, and on their lands this is happening, and if the government knows that, look, we can do the ranches and other things, why have they not ventured into that? Why do we have all these tensions directly linked to this open grazing when we have a solution begging, staring in our faces and say, this is me, take me? And the people of the chiefs or the custodians of the land seems to be willing to take to the new methods. Why are we wasting time?
Pastor Mo Adesanya goes on. He said, respect. He said, we respect Autumn. Now he's the only governor that is standing for his people, like Chief Sunday Igboho. He doesn't care. He said, no open grazing. He's not going to allow that thing to take place. And Papi Oladenyi says, thank my brother Koiki. Yes, and then Olariwan Joe says, break Nigeria now. But Yomi, before you go, a quick one there. Atiku, he's been quiet. We know that he is the opposition leader. When he came to the election, he was making so much noise. First of all, where does Atiku come from? From the north or from the south? And then, what has been his stance on everything that is happening, from the IPOP leaders' arrest and the invasion of Chief Sunday Igboho's residence and everything? I've not heard much from him.
Well, you haven't heard much from him, but all I can say is about 14 hours ago, this is what was on his Twitter. I'm not sure where he's tweeting from. He tends to spend more time in Dubai than in Nigeria, where he has an expensive apartment there. But he's probably been tweeting out of Nigeria, because if the Nigerian government have banned Twitter, he won't be tweeting. But this is what he said 14 hours ago. This is one, and he's responding to the kidnap or adoption of those 100 students at the Bethlehem Baptist High School, Kujuma Chukun local government area of Kaduna. And this is what he said: this one adoption too many. We cannot continue to pretend that all is well. All is not well. Protection of lives and property is the primary responsibility of the government, and it is time that the government begins to live up to its responsibility. Again, my thought and prayers are with the parents and the guardians of the victims of this crime against our children. And I'm just looking back to what he has said. 5 days ago, by registering to vote, you are taking the first necessary step in the process to employ Nigeria. I encourage all eligible voters, especially the youth, to participate in the process going out to register. So he has been saying a little bit. Again, I saw him. This was on the 28th of June. It was a pleasure to host the ambassador of the United Arab Emirates to Nigeria, Farad Obie Atraka, over the weekend. So it seems he's in and out of the country, but in terms of as the opposition, I guess he has left that to the party to deal more with that.
Okay, Yomi. Let me say thank you very much for that wonderful update that you brought today. We'll catch up later then.
Well, again, don't touch the dial. It's still Frank and Archie to take you through the remaining part of the broadcast. It's exactly 11:51. Quite a lot spent on the Nigerian issue, which is one of the biggest issues currently facing a lot of African countries. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and I'll be back again same time, 11 a.m. to report more on the news and the development happening. Somebody did ask the question about those in the hands of the DSS.
Yes.
We will be issuing a statement, sometime later on this evening. Make sure you stay tuned, where we can then update more, because the barrister will be giving us a feedback on that. And until then, we can't say much on that. But for now, stay tuned to Star Radio UK for more of the news happening around the globe. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Well, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki for you, bringing you updates from Nigeria. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis. I'm Archie. We'll take a quick break, but I'm going to bring you some song. This is commemoration of all of you who are listening to us this morning. It says, Under Pressure. So, under pressure, coming from the late Raskimono. Well, what are the leaders doing about all that? We'll be going into that. We'll be looking at some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. But don't you go away. Continue to keep your dials logged on Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Thank you very much to each and every one of you who or who is on the Facebook broadcast, and those of you on YouTube, Periscope, and all the other social media platforms, we salute you. Balakola Koiki said, now the best way to listen to us is via our apps. We got our own apps. Go to your app store, whether iOS or Android. Just type in STARR Radio UK and then download it. It is for free. Starr Radio UK. And then we have you go there, you are able to join us, go to the TV session, watch or listen to podcasts and all the other programs that comes your way. This afternoon exactly at 1:30, BB Means Business show is going to be coming your way, and today she's going to look at how to get more customers. Who doesn't want more customers? The other time I saw some advert where somebody is trying to say that if you want to get more members in your congregation or church members, you can contact them. And I'm going to say, hey, now this thing just turn into something else. But with me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davids, I am Archie. Now, Frank, interesting. Just a quick one. Let's digress a bit. Now, if you're a pastor, I know you are a leader in a church now. And then somebody put that come and contact us, come and see us. We'll give you ways and means of getting more customers or more members of the congregation.
Actually, again, we know this is what our brothers and sisters have been subjected to. Some people willingly obey. It's actually because of the respect we have for people who seem to have authority and power. If you look at our communities, our tradition, our culture, irrespective of how you define it, we seem to be submissive to authority, and that's what we've done all over our lives. From our homes, when what our parents are going wrong, or we submissive. We get to the chief palace, very submissive. We get to we see if you're assemblyman, he's an honorable, submissive. We do all kind of things, and the churches, the mosques, the imams have also utilized this to a point where we are now under what I call the bondage of spiritual abuse of spiritual authority. So you see, a pastor who abuse his authority will not put the interest of the people first. Imam will do same. A traditional priest will do same. Agrada in Ghana was abusing her position. Abuse of spiritual authority is what goes on every day. Now, if I am the one you are going to come and see and you get more, you cannot discount the effectiveness and the efficiency of prayers. You cannot. And again, men of authority, men were put in place, but they are chosen by God. Some of them, except those who choose themselves. They are chosen, and therefore they have a role to play in our lives. No discounting that. But when it becomes a manipulative tool, that's where it becomes wrong. But for you to be able to know whether they are manipulating you or not, it means that you yourself, whatever faith you believe in, will have to do a bit of homework to know what it says, what it doesn't say. If you are Muslim, you're gonna be a good Muslim. So that when an imam comes and says, okay, I want to do ablution for your wife because Allah has said I should do ablution for your wife, you better get a whip and be ready for him. So you need to know exactly what your faith says. If Tigari, someone comes with his concoction and say Tigari says what you have stolen this and confess and I'll do this when you haven't stolen, get what them slap the person.
Pour it on them.
Abuse of spiritual authority, that's where we witness it.
You know, interestingly, listeners, just bear with us. I'm digressing a bit. Regina posted something on this timeline. Timeline. They said that there's a pastor in Zimbabwe who has been arrested for selling tickets to heaven. $500 each, and people are buying it. He's saying that I do not care what people or the police are saying about me. I am being persecuted because of doing the work of God. Jesus Christ appeared to me and gave me the tickets made of pure gold, so that I can sell to people who want salvation. He added. Meanwhile, Jesus said that he gave life to us for free,
and people are buying. And
people are buying
because we know this is not part of the where a pastor claim to be calling God in heaven, and rang a phone number, and you see all kind of this madness going on within the flock. Take you to heaven. Why hasn't Jesus sent the angels to come and?
Now, Jesus has changed his mind. First it was free flight. Now it's not more free.
It's only lazy. It's only lazy. If you're a lazy Muslim,
yeah,
you're a lazy Christian.
Yeah,
you fall victim to some of these criminals. I mean, this person is not a pastor, and that's why I like what Ajin Asare said the other time. He said, "Look, why must Christians sit down to allow the likes of Kennedy Japan to come and be doing the house cleaning that they should be doing?"
Yeah.
Are you getting? So if you're an imam and there's another imam somewhere that you know that he's defrauding, doing ablution for people's wife unjustifiably, and you are sitting watching him, and the name of Islam is being dragged in him, and then you are part of it.
Yeah.
If you are a pastor, you are a bishop, and you know that there are criminal activities going on within your folks, and you will not speak about it.
Yeah.
You will not call a meeting to warn or probably help people about it. But you see, spiritual things,
when you go to the court, you cannot measure that. There is no yardstick for measuring that. Well, but when it comes to abuse, it can be seen. Yeah. But it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's now 12:01. If you want to join in the discussions, feel free to do so. Call us on 0208 133 2257 or 58 0208 133 2257 or 58. Those of you in US or Canada, those who are not sleeping, okay, it's 001 718 303 2737 001 718 303 2737 as well. And then those of you who want to use text or WhatsApp, it is 0753966174 0753966174. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. On the WhatsApp, you can call us on that, and we'll be able to pick that as well. But if you want to Skype at us, our Skype ID is Starr Radio UK 1. Starr Radio UK 1. Whatever you do, make sure you get in touch. Yes? Okay. Because one day when they say, when this discussion was going on, did you hear it? Were you part of it? And you say, no. Well, you might not be. Okay. Let me read final comments, and then we can go to some of the stories making the rounds here. Pastor Mo Adesanya says, Mr. Frank, God bless you. May God protect Koiki and Chief Sunday always. And then Felix Okuwe Iga says, good one there, thumbs up. Mike Orano says, break up Nigeria. That is the only solution left now, or we end up fighting needless war, which we pray that it doesn't result to that sense will prevail. Rotimi Ajayi says, thank you. And the Pastor Mo Adesanya says, we keep Buhari and his associates under pressure eternally. That's in relation to the song that was played. All right then, Starr Radio UK. Now let's quickly have a couple of look at some of the stories making the rounds here. Yesterday we have the Prime Minister who said that, well, come the 19th, freedom, and then everybody can do. But some health experts, I mean, if you watch the press conference, you could see that the experts, when I talk about the scientists and the doctors, the chief medical officer, you could see that their facial expression wasn't like correct. They were a bit skeptic when it came to they are saying that, look, they are even signing a warning. The health secretary this morning was saying that they know that the infection rate is going to go up to about 100,000 come after this summer, after this lockdown has been eased, or all this protocol. Now, what do you think people should do?
Actually, in policy making, you do not only restrict yourself to only experts. You also look at other considerations. We understand they are doctors, they are scientists, but on this occasion, some of us will beg to differ with them.
Okay.
Look, when all this thing started, the NHS was a priority to us. How do we control? How do we ensure that we do not overwhelm the hospitals? And how do we ensure that we don't bring NHS to its knee? Has that goal been achieved? Yes, it has been achieved. The second topmost priority for us was to protect the most vulnerable in our community, people the aged, people with underlying condition, and therefore we moved into action, telling them that even people, over 1 million people receive letters asking them to shield. These are special protected breeds. I mean, for them, because of the underlying condition, they have to shield. Now, to be able to, Ghana, they went, I mean, in Egypt, were asked to shoot, right? Here we are told that to be able to come out, you must take a double dosage of your vaccine. And therefore, when the vaccine started rolling out, those who were shielding the most vulnerable were those who were prioritized, right? So the metrics and the yardsticks to determine whether we'll be safe or not were first to work out from the vulnerable. Have we succeeded in injecting, jabbing the vulnerable? Yes, about 80% of them. The young were not a priority. The youth were not a priority.
No, at all.
If you did not prioritize us then, why do you prioritize us now?
Well, now the infection is you.
Was the infection not there at that time when you didn't prioritize us? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Science suggests, and they themselves have told us, that the virus can spread. However, the young, the youth are less likely to succumb to
that disease.
So, if to date we have succeeded in actually inoculating about 80% or more of the most vulnerable, freedom, actually.
But
whatever you do, people will die.
Okay. Whatever you do, people will die. We've got a caller. Let me cross over straight to the person. Let's see. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Archie and Frank. This KB.
Yes, KB, how are you?
I'm doing very well.
Great.
By God's grace.
Great. Yes, what do you want to say this afternoon, sir?
Right, just one or two things. I don't know why people are complaining about the Prime Minister's lifting of stuff, like the restrictions. I see it as human nature to complain about the cold, and also when it's
hot as well.
When it's hot as well, you complain. So I don't know if we want the same. I mean, two things at the same time. But they know what they are doing, you know. And some people have talked about conspiracy theory, and that theory, if it's working, then it's working seriously, because at the end of the day, this whole thing started. And people were saying it's fake. Some people were saying it's real. So it's been a two-sided thing all throughout. And the man decides to open up now that they believe that they've vaccinated or sort of turn many into, I don't want to use certain words, like into test tubes or pigeons or whatever. And so that has been done. Now people are complaining. So I don't know where we are going to turn to. Where should we turn to? Do we believe that the COVID is real, or should it be? Because there was other places that they were talking about permanent lockdown.
Yeah.
So are we okay with permanent lockdown, or restrictions lifted and people being cautious? So therefore, I mean, there are airborne diseases that have lived with us for many years, and people are still surviving. So all they talk about, it's too early, they are not being thoughtful and all those stuff. I don't see where that is coming from. This is my opinion.
Okay, let me ask you a question there. Now, would you, when you go to maybe a gathering, a place where there are a few people indoors or whatever, would you put on a mask?
As at the moment.
No, after the 19th.
I don't believe, because I mean the experts are saying that the mask is not. It's not a protection. I mean, it's not protecting you, but it's protecting others.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to be quite honest, I just have to be cautious and distance myself. But I believe that I mean, I wouldn't want to, if I'm being honest, unless maybe on the train or on the underground.
Okay, I know you go to church. Let me ask you that. When you go to the church, would you want to put on a mask?
Not really. You know, I want the angels to take my prayers.
You want the angels to take his prayers quickly.
Yeah, I want them to take it so that they will not. If I'm saying R, they will not take it as L. I want things to they hear it properly. You know. So
Okay.
I don't want any. Yeah, and also the other thing that I want to talk about is the demonstrations in Ghana.
Okay.
As a democratic country, I believe that everybody, every citizen has got a right to demonstrate if they feel. I mean, one-man demonstration is. I feel that even one-man demonstration is much more needed if people are not. Or families demonstrating.
Yeah.
We've seen in Parliament Square over
yeah.
there.
People have been demonstrating for years. They built a camp there. They demonstrate. They allow them.
So that I believe and I hope that it will not be, God forbid, bloody. It has to be. It has to be, if I can put it like. The Abongo boys should not be set in, if I can say that. They have to respect the citizen. It's their right. They have to demonstrate within the confines of the law, so that nobody can decide to suppress the civil rights of the ordinary citizen. And the current president being a champion and the world champion for demonstrations, as we've always known all these years. I think he should be even encouraging people, because it will be a good thing for him to sit up and work harder and work better for the people, not to react every moment, every now and then, because that way he takes away the rights of the people. So I thought I'll chip in this, and also the killings that happened. I believe it's I have to condemn it. It's uncalled for, because nobody has to die for somebody to live.
Yeah.
You know, even they've I think it's been nullified already in terms of the we used to have death by hanging or something like that.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the name.
Capital punishment.
Yeah.
I mean, various forms.
Capital punishment. Yeah, that has been nullified. So if people are demonstrating, or people are not happy, they are even helping the government. To be honest, I one time had a pastor, my namesake. He said, Pastor Katie Bosman. He said some problems are good. You know, some problems brings the best out of people. Without problems, we wouldn't have solutions to a lot of things that we need, and we need to have. Some problems have been able to bring out today. We some of the technology that we are enjoying, some of the things that we are seeing, some of the things that we have at our disposal wouldn't have been possible if not for the problems that the world has always encountered. So I believe that some problems, the government should take it on the chin and work harder if they believe that they have what it takes to lead the country, because it's a great country. And I pray that God makes it great and strong as we sing in our national anthem.
Okay. KB,
so far the demonstration.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So far the demonstration, KB, I can report, is going on well.
Oh, right. I was going to, sorry, Frank, to
go ahead.
I was going to say that I was also watching the Ashanti Regional Minister, the inquiry thing that they put together. I hope and pray that they will do the right thing. If he has to go, if he has to resign for the first time in the history of this government, I believe that they have to do the right thing if he has to go, because somebody put a statement out there that the man was talking about evidence of the demonstrators trying to attack the water cannons, and so the police had to react, and they asked him, "Do you have evidence?" The man could not find the video on his phone.
Bossman, I can tell you that that inquiry is dead on arrival. So don't expect anything from me, because if they want to do an investigation by now, you should have stepped aside for proper investigation to have taken place. But not while you are still in power and can pull string, and still those who are investigating are still under you and therefore able to manipulate them. So for me, that investigation, it will end up even worse than Emil Short's commission's report. So have no hope in that. That's all I can say.
Okay. Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Right then. Well, listeners, you can also make your voice heard by calling us, and I promise you that we'll be allowing you to make your voice heard. Now, Michael Goodwill says thumbs up, and Akinwolare Rotimi Francis also says Yoruba Nation now. Yes, keep your comments coming through. As I promise you, we will be reading them or putting them across. But feel free to call us on the numbers that I put across, and we'll allow you there as well. But this afternoon, exactly at 1:30, we'll be having BB Means Business, BB Clement on BB Means Business, and today once again she's having a look at how to increase your customer, how to get more customers. Who doesn't want that? Yeah, I want to have billions and billions of customers. What about you? Your business front, you want to have that? Well, you can have a clue to do that when you listen to this program exactly at 1:30. So make a date with BB Clement on BB Means Business. Exactly what? 1:30. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your African and Caribbean radio station in London. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis. I'm Archie, and we are having a look at some of the stories making the rounds, those that we've touched on. But if you have any other story you want to share with us, feel free to do so. So come the 19th, yes, for sure, the restrictions will be lifted. Some are saying that, well, they will not put on like we have KB say he's not going to bother himself putting on a mask unless he's getting onto a public transport.
Yeah,
and again, the mask protecting others and not you. How do you protect yourself?
Actually, there's it is not completely right that the mask only protects others. Yes, we know that the way it's designed, it protects more of others
than you,
but it protects you because it shields. That is why some people find it very difficult to breathe in and out.
Because you cannot inhale.
And then there are certain particles that might not be able to go through those shields. So I think it's a good thing. I mean, in a crowded area, I would advise each and everyone, if you can, so wear this. It's not the disease is not over yet. We're still in it. But I think where we are now, we need to move on with our lives.
Now, what do you think about the social distancing? How do we do that? Because you go to the shops. I mean, you go to, especially when you go to some of these shops that do deal in African goods or food stuff, and you have people just trooping in, and at times I stand back and I'm like, so I decide to go. If I have to go there, I'll go there when I know that the shop is not that busy, because I can't stand that.
Actually, individuals will have to know that today and now, government cannot do everything for them. That government has been able to show them a bit of things to do to lower and minimize their risk. Next level is up to them, taking the responsibility to their own hands. So if you get to a crowded area and you also want to jump in, know that you are assuming some amount of risk, and individuals have to make those decisions whether they are ready for those levels of risk or they are not ready for those levels of risk. Will I mingle in a group? Unless I know the people I'm mingling with, I will not. Will I just go where people are, a lot of people get? I wouldn't do it. Will I be using a mask when even this is? Yes, I will be doing it. Will I be distancing myself, observing a bit of impose on myself personal protocols? Yes, I will impose on myself personal protocols, just to eliminate risk. If, like I said yesterday, if it is 0.1% of the risk that my actions helps me eliminate, is 0.1 too many.
You will still do that. There are some of our people who, when I say people generally, who when they get into a particular place and there are lots of people, maybe people who smoke. Okay, you don't smoke, but you got into their midst and they're all doing it, like especially the youth, and they say, "Oh, you too." Well, so they are not able to, stand on their grounds or stand their grounds to do the things that they want to do. So, like you sitting here saying, "I'll do this, I'll do that," but you get there and everybody, "Oh, what you are being too overprotective. Just get on, let's live our lives." And that can cause a problem.
Actually, it can cause a problem. I remember the first time I picked up a cigarette. To smoke. It was because I was in a group and what do you call it?
Peer pressure.
There was not so much peer pressure on me. I think I was aware and alert enough. We went to a club, Punana, and my friends were smoking. I said, "Hey, pass me on."
This man become a guy. If your dad has seen you, how he will smoke you?
And I said, "Pass me on." And I did smoke. I did smoke a stick over there. That was my first time picking up a cigarette. Apart from when we were young and we went take wood. We chop the sticks over when we were young. Practicing as I mean, actually, we've been there. So
newspapers would do like
road newspapers
and you cough and
is that what this will go through? And then the other time was when also in Cranium again, it was a social event and so. But again, actually, you have to know yourself. You have to know yourself. I have been in the midst of people. I'm not saying everybody is. I've been a passive smoker for years. I have friends that smoke weed. I am a Rasta man.
This man is high already.
I'm a Rasta man. I have friends that smoke weed. I get to their midst, they smoke weed. I say that, have I ever tried it?
No.
Never. So I know my limits. There are certain things that you can get me to do. There are certain things that you cannot get me to do. And that's why I say anytime that something happens, I do not blame those around me because I have the power to make certain decisions. And that is why we need to define what we want as individuals. If I'm going to a club, if I'm going to a pub, am I going to dance? Am I going to do it? You need to know your barriers and know how to stand firm and believe that, okay, I am doing this because of A, B, C, D. And therefore, when they are pushing me to do that, no, you're moving from your comfort zone, and by that you are increasing your risk. As a person, you need to know the level of risk you are able to accept. It's like driving. When you're driving on a motorway, the speed at which you are able to control your car is personal to you. So we can't be in throttle bangers, probably the same car. You'll be driving at 40, but I might be driving at 60. It's not because I'm driving at 60. So my emotional intelligence might be, different from your emotional intelligence. I might not have something disturbing me. You might have your girlfriend who is asking your top money. I might not have a girlfriend. Are you getting me? I might be speeding because my girlfriend says if I don't get here, I will not get the last kiss. You might not have a girlfriend who kiss and therefore decide to slow down. So if you see me drive past you and therefore decide to follow me, I'll get there and be kissing my girlfriend. You'll be standing. No, so he was kissing his girlfriend. He went to kiss his girlfriend. That's why he was speeding. You want to have, speed for that and increase your risk. So we all have to understand the level of risk we are prepared to take. And this again comes to responsibility for parents, your children. You need to understand the level of risk they are going to be exposed to. Now the bubbles are going to go when they come back from home. They just get from school, get home, you take their clothes and mix them with other clothes. You might have to implement a personal a protocol that your children come from school, either you go
take
bath them straight, take their clothes and damn them. It's about lowering risks, and this has to be something that I think individuals will have to develop for themselves. But we cannot have Big Brother controlling all of us that way.
Okay. Well, we hope that you've taken a caution from what we are saying. It is already okay. Josiah Daniel Olawale. He says Yoruba Nation now. He wants now. And Michael Goodwill says thumbs up. Thank you very much, Michael. Okay, start ready. Okay, 12:24. Now let's look at some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Now this is pertaining to Afghanistan. Now we know that the NATO were supposed to, or the Western security agents, soldiers that were there were supposed to have left by 9/11.
Yeah.
However, what has happened is that overnight they've just moved, and now we have the Taliban now taking over all those areas.
Yeah.
And information coming through says that the Americans said that the U.S. military left Bagram airfield, its key base in Afghanistan, in the dead of night without notifying the Afghans. The base's new commander has said. Now, General Asadullah Kahistani said that the U.S. left Bagram at 03 hours local time last Friday, and that the Afghan military found out hours later. So just pew, and they are gone. Why were they scared that maybe the Taliban will attack them while they were leaving, or
actually,
what?
Tactically, they also have to do whatever is good for them. But the information that we do know is that they told them by September they would have left. They told them they would begin a gradual drawdown, withdrawal. So if I say between today and tomorrow I'll finish this, and the task, I might finish in the next minute, I might finish it tomorrow, but within that period be prepared that I can finish it at any time. I get me. So I do think that Afghan soldiers should have stepped up.
Yeah.
And I do seriously think that probably it could be a miscommunication. There's
Okay.
a bit of communication problem over there. But actually, the most important thing over here is that, look, US is never going to win any war in Afghanistan. It's not going to. You can suppress it for some time, but you're not going to be able to win any war over there. At the end of the day, that's not your home. That is not your home. Look, actually, when you see a field, you go and cut the grass, and you leave it for some time. What happens?
The grass grows back.
So what do you go to do? You
Go and cut it again.
If you want to stop the grass going there, you must re-engineer the
The
field.
soil, yeah.
Okay, you must re-engineer the field. That is, these people are like grass in their own land. You can come and weed us, or you can come and we coil in as if we don't exist. Once the
rain comes, and then we just like
mowers and others are gone, we say,
Come
here
up.
we are. This is our land.
Yeah.
There's no way they were going to win that war. It hasn't happened. What they call they are not the first. The Russians have tried it. It never worked. That's what I'm saying. Look, yes, the atrocities that were being caused by the the Taliban was totally unacceptable. Justifiably, they intervened, which is right. But past the military action, there must be a parallel conversation going on, understanding why, how, so that they work closely with the Taliban. But you're not going to expect to depart and expect that, because you've killed this number of Taliban and you force them to the ideology, what they believe in, what they've been doing, automatically
destroyed or vanished.
Unless you go and kill the whole Taliban, and which again will be bordering on the line of genocide.
Genocide, yeah.
Are you get me? So I think the approach, I don't know. I don't know, but there's no.
But I'm worried about the citizens who, followed the course of the Americans and the freedom and that libertarian society that they were living in under the Americans, and now that they've just.
Actually, the good news, however, is that the Taliban are not going to have it easy like the way they had it before. They're not going to have it. The changes have taken place. The schools are springing up. People are now more aware of what to do. Structures have been put in place.
Okay.
So it's not going to be what it used to be 20 years ago. So yes, the Taliban presence will still be there. We will see it, but you're going to see different attitude from the citizens towards this. And I foresee a situation where you see the people themselves working together with the Taliban to resolve whatever. It's going to take time, but I think that's the only approach.
Okay. Listen to Starr Radio UK. Some international stories. Now in Hong Kong, police have arrested 9 people, including 6 high school children, over an alleged terrorist plot. Now, members of the group are aged between 15 and 39 years old. Now, police said they had rented a room in a hotel to build bombs and planned to attack the city courts transport networks, and streets. Now, the arrests come as Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam warned against illegal ideas spreading through the city. The group is being held under the national security law, which has been used to crush dissent after years of pro-democracy protests led by mostly young activists. The police said they seized the highly explosive chemical tritone triperoxide TATP in a hotel room that was used as a laboratory for bomb making equipment. Some 600,000 Hong Kong dollars linked to the group also traced and frozen. Now, with the way that China is trying to clamp on them, have a hold on them, do you think this is the way that the new means they're going to deploy to fight their cause?
If these people are planning or were planning atrocities of this magnitude, then I think it's the right thing that has been done, taking them down. Because those, underground networks, the train stations and the attack, people who are taking the lamb and other things are not going to, suffer for it.
Yeah.
It's the innocent people who are going to, and therefore, if they've taken their protest to this level where they will not be engaging in this terrorist act, I think it must be condemned. It must be condemned. But actually, I do have a problem with the news reportage. I do think that some of us who either propagate news or other thing will have to be very circumspect. I do not see the relevance of naming the chemical
that was
because what you've done totally is that to say that this chemical can potentially be used to build a bomb.
And now people will now go and experiment how to get it and how to.
I sit here. It will take me time to be able to determine which chemical can be used apart from the hydrogen peroxide that is common, right? But if you're now going to, in the news reportage, yes, I understand you want to give details of what was found to prove a point, that is it, but I do think that naming the chemical add nothing to the story, but rather make it worse, and that people who might be thinking of, with this, you never can tell. I think it's a bit of I disagree with that content.
That reportage there. Okay. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, on the African continent. The other stories making the rounds though. Okay, a quick one from Russia. Debris from missing plane have been found in Russia Far East. It is thought that all 28 people on board the An-26 passenger aircraft in Kamchatka have died. Okay, so that's the sad story there. Our thoughts are with the family and those who have lost their lives too. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Okay, now let's hit on Africa now. Now, has Tanzania really changed course on COVID? Somebody say, if you won't change course, what will you want to do? And Eswatini King is a shepherd, and I know Frank will want to talk about that Eswatini story because of the Root of Africa program that we've been bringing to you. So let me touch on that one first. The daughter of King Mswati III of Eswatini has denied rumors that he has fled the country following a week of pro-democracy protests, which were met with a violent crackdown. Now, Sekeyanyiso Diamini, who serves as Eswatini's Information and Technology Minister, said that we are in the kingdom. She added, His Majesty is a shepherd. A king is a king by his people, and he will not be king if he would leave his country behind for any reason whatsoever. In recent days, images of burning and looting have been screened from Eswatini, Africa's last absolute monarchy. But Miss Diamini presented a different picture of recent events, saying, we are in a kingdom of peace and we believe in peaceful dialogue. Under no circumstance would our people's right be infringed upon to prevent peaceful petition. Though quiet has now been returned to the streets of Eswatini, a broad-based coalition of civil society group is calling for a dialogue mediated by the South African Regional Bloc, SADC, plus a new democratic constitution, the unbanning of political parties and transitional authority. Now, I remember we were talking about this story off air, and then you were talking about what was going on there. So, do you think this king, what exactly is happening there? Because this is an institution, a monarchy institution.
Yeah, this is an absolute monarch, and what you do have happening is that a pro-democrat youth, mainly youth, are saying that, look, we cannot have this. We want to have a say in the way we are governed, the way we are ruled. Actually, that has led to a lot of protests, burning of cars, destroying of some of the government properties, and other stuff. Now, a lot has gone on. A lot has gone in terms of destruction over there. What is being done now, however, is that regional and other leaders within South Africa have stepped in. And a dialogue is, talking and discussion. And then I'm proud to say that Starr Radio are involved in that, and we're looking to get to be part of the first ever dialogue, national dialogue that is going to take place. It will be broadcast live. We're going to moderate it. It's like a peace dialogue to see what is happening. We're working closely with IDOL International to be able to broker peace over there and to see what happens. But some will argue for it, some will argue against. Even in this country, the monarch is still facing a lot of pressure that is time the queen step down and we should have no king and then we should go republic. So that is what you're getting over there. There should be no king, there should be no monarch. Again, we want a republic. You take the same situation to Thailand. Again, you see a similar picture over there. We saw a bit of agitations in Morocco about a year or two ago. Are you getting? So there's always tension between modernity and what we used to. Where the youth, the future of the states seems to be trending towards more of inclusive, participatory democracy instead of the kind of absolute system that we have. And basically, rightly so, because some of these leaders again have abused their authorities to suppress the people. They've not used their position to work merely in the interest of the people. They have used their position to lord, exploit, and to some extent even kill and destroy their own people.
Okay, let me say good afternoon to Kojo D. He says he's enjoying the show, but he's been caught up, so today he cannot join in. All right, and but joining on Thursday. Kojo, thank you very much for that. He says he's enjoying it. That's what's important. We are tired of Akufo-Addo's dictatorship, and NDC supporters cry as they march. Now, members of the National Democratic Congress have slammed President Akufo-Addo, describing him as a dictator, as they hit the streets of Accra to protest. The supporters of the NDC are also decrying what they say is the growing injustice in the country under the leadership of President Akufo-Addo. The party said the march will also signal the beginning of public sensitization activities to compel the government to raid the security agencies of NPP hoodlums and misfits who have been recruited and are being used to terrorize innocent and peace-loving Ghanaians. The march will also be in solidarity with the silent majority of security personnel who are concerned about the undue politicization of recruitment and appointment to the detriment of professionalism and discipline. Now, first of all, let's look at the recruitment of people into our security apparatus. Now, I remember back in the day, because one of my uncles was a soldier, became a soldier. I remember he came to live with us, Uncle Kwawo, and then he went to Burma camp for the recruiting thing, and then they took him to the north for his training. And this is somebody, I mean, he was well learned. I remember he been teaching me, and then at times he would whip me, but he loves me to bits. Now that time, it is not like maybe some politics time, and then it wasn't like that. Because I think that that was before, that was the Achampong regime to Kufu before Rawlings came in, because that was, I remember that, because I was very little. And the discipline and everything. You see him and he said, Uncle, yeah, you get it. Now, you see that the people went in there, they love to do that. And they came out. So when it comes to doing their duties, you could see that diligence there as well. But this is a case where we've gotten to a point where we don't have jobs for people. And therefore, we take those jobs, we take those people as people who are supporting us, or maybe they are macho men and all that stuff, and that seems to be the trend now. You have to be a macho, and then they take you there. And once people win power, they decide, okay, these people, let's get them in there. So it comes to the point where scrutinizing these people before they get in there has become a problem.
Okay, Archie, thank you very much. You say, let's first admit and say the military and the security establishment are supposed to be professional bodies, and that is why we give them all the respect in this country. For instance, we respect the police, we respect the army. They do a professional job. They get involved in saving lives, they get involved in saving properties. When there's flood, you see the military at the forefront of it, trying to rescue, trying to lead. I mean, their purpose, the main aim of security forces is for humanity and to protect the flag. If you look at the issue of Ghana, we started politicization of the military from 2000, from the year 2000. And I'll tell you why I say that. Look, and it all started when Rawlings took over power. During the 80s and 90s, when democratic, we ushered ourselves into the fourth republic, Rawlings was accused of basically recruiting mainly Airways into the military. To a large extent, they then linked Rawlings to NDC because he was the founder of NDC. What then happened after Rawlings left, or 2000 after the election? Rawlings have a commando unit that was basically, he's the soldier coming from that. What then happened is after his left office, we saw a purging, or there was a purging of the military. Basically, politics begin to be introduced. Now we've come. Rawlings is no more. Rightly, to some extent, every president must get people who are close, they can trust. You can't trust
everyone. You have to
in the military to protect you. So we saw purging of the military, but we accelerated that to a point where we think that because soldiers have used arms and these things in the past, when we recruit our own and promote them into positions that are, basically have power to even control the junior ranks in the military, whatever we're doing in politics, whether we're killing, whether we're murdering, whether there will be no occasion where the military will rise up like they did in the past to step in and say, no, this is not. Because if you take the coups that have happened, just for whichever way you look at it, the recent past that we can remember was the Rawlings coup. The late Rawlings coup. And it became, when the blood flow, the understanding was that the economic conditions were so dire that people were finding it difficult. I remember, I was still a young boy by then, where people have to queue for milk powder
and all that.
And all that. Those are the economic conditions. Kalabule days, where you go and prices get to triple within. You are standing there. It's like bidding. Prices are
just goes like no man's business.
Those were. So we started politicizing the military then. Now, when it got to 2008, when NDC took over power, in my view, they did not do enough to correct a process that had been set in motion. Now, move that to 2012 elections. When an Akufo-Addo lost election, let me admit, all the political parties have had a bit of gangs or people loyal to them, they call militias. So you have NDC who have something like Ashoka boys.
Yeah.
And then you have what do you call it, MPP who have
Delta
like,
Force.
Delta Force is a recent Manda boys and things. They used to have different groups. And these people were supposed to provide security for their activities.
Yeah.
They were not supposed to have anything to do with the state security, because the understanding is that you're going to pay more if you want the state security. And there's a point where you might not even get it.
Yeah.
So these were boys that were recruited to be able to provide security. Now, we saw them as a tool to be able to use for politics, which is what they did. Actually, let me say this, that had Nana Akufo-Addo not won election in 2016, there could have been war in Ghana. Okay. Now, when that happened, post 2016, we saw fully and openly agitation from some of these. Not me saying it. There were videos of them. We saw the one at Tema, where some of these invisible said, "Okay, you promised our job, you trained us, you told us if we work for you, we did this, we colored barrel buses, we beat people on your behalf, we did all this, and if you do not give us jobs, we are going to cause problems." We saw what happened with Delta Forces in Kumasi, and we saw all kind of things. And actually, you are not sitting here. We've heard people like Canada and Japan who say he has single-handedly recruited about 1,000 people into the police.
Yes. Frank, hold on there. We've got Mr. Kofi Ali who has joined us. Let's go to him quickly and then I'll come back to you. Kofi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Doing very, very well. And you?
Not bad. I've been listening more these days than actually calling to talk.
Oh, okay.
The issue that just came to my attention is that of the military involvement in the political activities of Ghana.
Yeah.
One will say in 1966 when the military did the first coup, which happened in time of emergency. Remember, they had a taste of ruling the government. And since then, they've been building up and up and up. The problem we have in Ghana today is a very dying problem that we all have to open our eyes to. In Ghana now, everything is divided between NDC and MPP. NDC contractors, MPP contractors. NDC police, MPP police. NDC soldiers, MPP soldiers. NDC lawyers, MPP lawyers. Even in the Supreme Court, you have NDC judges and MPP judges. Therefore, the country, in fact, even Bank of Ghana, you have MPP managers and then NDC managers. So when each of them, win election, they come in and drive away the other guys. So this is where we are. You see, unfortunately for us, if we have a country where the policing number is very, very huge, as we can afford, right? These soldiers, you ask yourself, what is their use?
Yeah.
And what is the use of a soldier?
We don't have a war. We don't have a war.
Not to fight in your country, to fight your citizens, but because they are idle. This is why some of us are saying that all of them should be turned into police.
Okay.
Then the military will be managed by the ECOWAS. They will employ their own military people. All these people, they will be in the desert now going after terrorists. Can you see?
Yeah.
And they will be. You see, the Ghana police then will be well, because they will have their own plane. They will have their own everything, even ship on the sea. It's part of policing. Police can do a lot of it. So that the professional work will be left with the real military. Can you see?
Yeah.
But because what we are doing now, for every one idle man called military officer, we are not realizing that you can be able to get about 3 or 4 police officers out of one military officer. You go and check and tell me what work do they do than sitting in the barrack idle? That common. What in the Constitution of Ghana said Anyone in Ghana other than the president as a commander-in-chief is the only person who can deploy the military. Yes. The president is the only. Now you are hearing an ordinary regional who was not elected by anyone.
Yeah.
Even a chief can call the military and they use it. They are so idle. That's no military. That is a police. They are not military. But maybe we don't have anything to do with our money. Because Ghana today, you see, the issue, most will argue that there is the issue of unemployment. That one is serious.
Yeah.
Because if you cannot be able to collect tax, how can you provide the things this forward?
Yeah.
Go and check those who in the demonstration. What job have they got? They thought because they have voted, then they can ask somebody to fix the country. It doesn't work that way. You vote, but understand you are voting for something to be done. But what will be done, you need the taxpayers' money to do it. Can you see?
Yeah.
Those who know that these people cannot do it did not vote for them. Because you do not to vote for people who have been there for 4 years and you know they can't do most of what you want them to fix. So those who lost the election are those who are campaigning to have someone to fix the country. You didn't vote for them in the first place. Can you see the logic? So, of course, military will be used. Because you are asking for what cannot be given. Can you see?
But Kofi, is it not people's democratic right to protest? I mean, we want to protest. So far as they are not destroying anything, and they say that we don't like this, and therefore we are protesting, they should be allowed because it's part of the democracy, right?
You see, democracy is about your lawful rights. Here, can you see? It's about your lawful right. You are free lawfully to do things. That in some nations, even by whether there is a law to allow you to do it or there's no law, or you are going to do it lawfully or unlawfully, you are not allowed. Do you understand? There are modalities of protesting. You understand?
Yeah.
And what you are doing here, you are demonstrating. Do you understand? And demonstration is part of campaign. Yes, it's very, very important. But the election has just finished. So what campaign is this one? Can you see? And in the course of that, they are supposed to have police permit. Remember, when you vote, you understand, you are voting for what can be given to you, not what cannot be given to you. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I get you.
You are voting for what is available. You can't be voting for what is not available. You have not paid. It is the workers. You see, what is not available now is jobs. How can we get Ghanaians to have the jobs? That is the argument. And that is what the election is supposed to be about. But we have been voting for so many years. They don't all do it. Because they cannot deal with the multinational corporations. The multinational corporations are not reinvesting the money into the country. They are taking it away. They are not this. You see, when we are arguing that we all need to start looking at how to make ECOWAS work, some people thought, no, they can do it in Ghana. Can you see where we are? They just took us to court. Court in Europe, court in London. The wife of Tony Blair was actually the contractor who was leading us because our no law firm in Ghana can be able to deal with that. Can you see? That can be everywhere. We're made to pay $170 million. Can you see something seriously wrong? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Can you see? And then the next day, some people will come and stand that issue. The country is rotting before now. And violence is not the way forward because we have all committed ourselves to democratic activities. And of course, protesting. But when you are going to demonstrate, there are public order act that says you need to get permit to do that. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Good. And then there are procedures you need to go through. Or you can't just say you want to do what you want to do. You understand? You can't do what you want to do. It doesn't work that way.
I get you there, but if the excuse of the police why they are not permitting these people to go and demonstrate is because they say because of COVID protocol. Meanwhile, they sat down whilst the ruling party, the president, the vice president they've gone to funerals where people were not social distancing. There were masses of people, and people have seen all those instances where custodians of the law are supposed to be the one upholding the law. They've not. Then why do you stop them from going out to protest? You don't have any right there.
That is indeed double standard. So there's no doubt there is a double standard there. You understand?
Yeah.
But the fact that it's like you saying that because somebody is corrupt and there's an allegation of corruption, you understand? And then the police have not arrested the person. So you two are going to be an armed robber. It won't work that way. You understand? Maybe you will be shot. You see, we need to understand, we are managing a country. You understand? Even if NDC is in government, let me give, honestly, they don't take some of this nonsense. They will react. You understand? The only problem is that there is suspicion of the authority, especially the police. Even your university lecturers, there are NDC and NPP. You go to hospital doctors, there are NDC doctors, NPP doctors. Chiefs, there are NDC chiefs, NPP. Where are we going with this?
Okay, can we run up so that I can go to Frank and then we'll run up the program for the next one?
Yes. To be honest with you, we are in a mess. And it's not only in Ghana, it's the whole of West Africa. The sad thing is that, you see, everyone, when the fire is burning you, the fire that is burning you particularly is the one you see. You don't know that your neighbor is in ashes already. If we know that we have a bigger fire problem, right, we'll deal with it together. This problem is ECOWAS problem. It's not Ghanaian problem. When you have Coca-Cola, they are not paying tax. Pfizer, they are not paying tax. All of them don't pay tax. Even if they are paying tax and these politicians are stealing it, is it not better? They take it to their country, and when the president or a minister go and talk, they set their politicians on you. Recently, we saw the British authority moving a very big ship across the world, threatening everyone that anyone who dare them. And you saw how the Chinese did their national day. They say no one can bully China. China will react. What are we? Are we not part of this world?
Maybe we are. Maybe we are not.
I don't think. I think we have intentionally made ourselves vulnerable. Look at Ghana. Look at those doing the demonstration. Do you know most of them spend most of the time in the mosque and church? They don't have jobs. You know, look at the children where the second shooting took place. They are rowdy everywhere. Like you are in northern Nigeria. Did you see them?
Yeah, we saw that.
Then you will know that the problem is more than what we are looking at. Unless we are ready to look at this problem in a very deep way, boy, we will have a long way to go.
Okay.
This is how they'll be shooting us every day. We need to wake up and use our resources properly to lead rather than, you know, what we are doing, fire service approach, this one do this and everyone job, this one. It's just, what we are doing now is not politics.
Okay.
We are only fooling ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kofi Ali. Okay. Yes. Well, listeners, that was Mr. Kofi Ali on the issue of demonstration and the militarization of our politicalization of our military.
Our services.
Yeah, our services.
Our security services.
Yeah.
And actually, like Kofi is saying, it transcends across all borders. I mean, to a point. And now, let me add to what Kofi just said, that Kofi, you forgot to mention one important area where we are divided. We are not divided even the choice of women and men. When you are, when NDC communicator married an MPP woman, NDC went ballistic. They were angry that their national officer has married a woman who is also a national official
of the
opposition party. Why? They believe confidential information will be traded and others will be traded. So even the choice of a partner now is politicized. I've had my friend Chief who arrived in Ghana and was trying to ask a lady out, and the lady asked, the first question, are you MPP or NDC? And he said, what has that got to do with me? Taking you out. He said, because I don't do NDC.
Oh wow.
So even who a woman sleeps with, it has to be that you are MPP or you are NDC.
Oh wow.
And indeed, we've seen political parties forming groups like loyal ladies, whatever ladies. And if you read, if you read Atta Kennedy's book, Chasing the Elephant into the Bush, he made it clear that in MPP there's a group of women that have been trained to provide sexual pleasures.
Oh wow.
For their you can check that book, Chasing the Elephant to the Bush. Chasing the Elephant to that. That's what caused them the election in 2008. That whereas they have to be working, the women who have been group trained assigned to provide sexual pleasures to their officials on campaign trail.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can get that's public knowledge. And he was a campaign manager at that time. So he was basically saying what he knows and what he saw and what happened over there. So actually it led to a point where now these hoodlums that were employed to provide security for MPP and rightly armed. You saw the issue about South Africans being arrested and taken back, that they were coming to provide military training.
Yeah.
When MPP won power, the job situation came in. Again, we saw them and we heard on radio the leaders of those groups saying that they consult with Nana Akufo-Addo on a daily basis, and that he and Amaku Tufo and Kenneth Agyapong are their patrons. Are you get me? That's what they said. I didn't say it. Now, we then decided that, okay, what do we do to calm these people down? Let's recruit them into the security forces. Well, they were trying to kill anyway. Proper, give a bit of this and that. Should we not win?
Crude way of.
Should we not win elections? You are people who will be deployed as rebels. So most of these people have been psyched that the state, just like the way we saw in Sierra Leone, we saw in Liberia, we saw in Cote d'Ivoire, everywhere that you've seen, political tensions and wars, is because unemployed youth have been used, recruited, trained to be rebels in fighting. And that is when we prepare these people, the staff forces, invisible forces. That is what we were training them to do. But when God granted the grace and we won power, we then recruited them to be part of what? The national
security,
the national police services. So someone Canada and Japan can sit on radio and tell us that, look, when you go, if anyone who asks you of your certificate, your qualifications, come and report. But when you were fighting, when you were working for MPP, where were you? To such a point, the aptitude test, which is key, your emotional intelligence is key. That is why you can have all the physical features. There are certain people who can be promoted. There are certain people who can be and that's why it's not everybody who is even qualified to be given a weapon. Because when they are training, they look at your emotional intelligence, how you react, your anger level, and other things, how you react. But no, we didn't go through that because your only qualification you need was to be an MPP member. So as we see now, we have a security force that is full of MPP members. You saw that police officer who decided that he was not going to be part of it, what was done to him. Some people and I can tell you, when NDC comes to power, what are they going to do? They're also going to do the same thing. They're going to do the same thing. Actually, the only way forward is for us to make this police and the prisons, the police, what they call it, the military, a truly professional body. Nothing to do with politics. Where the executive do not have instructions about the recruitment policy. The IGP is not selected by any politician. And if we can depoliticize that institution, then we are in good. We can be in good hands. But as it is now, actually, I'm afraid we have a long way to go.
We have a long way to go. Well, we don't have a long way to go to BB Clement. We've got about 27 minutes to go to BB Means Clement. BB Means Business by BB Clement this afternoon. So make a date with us. But Frank, before we go,
actually, this is coming from some of the demonstrators. There's a journalist, a Joy FM journalist, who actually, one of our brothers, Pito Tukuno, went and I mean, the demonstration is going on. They've sent videos. I have a lot of videos over here. But let me read this. It's very interesting. Again, which is about some of our journalists, whether we are interested in doing the actual work. He said what? And this is a Joy FM journalist asking Peter Otukuno. I see so many beautiful placards. How much did it cost the NDC to organize this demonstration? Peter Otukuno responded, this is ridiculous question. I think you should channel the same energy into knowing how much it cost the president Akufo-Addo to bath in the sky. Good afternoon.
It costs how many? $15,000 per hour. Okay. Listeners, we want to say thank you very, very, very much. That was Mr. Frank Davis leaving the program on a lighter note. We hope that you enjoy the show today, wherever you have been. We want to say thank you very, very much. But as we've announced earlier on, don't you go away. In the next, the broadcast is going to end and then restart in the next few minutes. But then we're bringing you BB Means Business by BB Clement and how to make more customers, how to increase your customer numbers. So make sure you make a date with us. On that note, let me sign off this program with this song from Raskimono. I think it sums up everything that is going on across the globe, especially on the African continent, especially in the Western African area. God bless you all. It's me, Archie, with Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Laimi Koike, and all KB Bossman, what do you call him, Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, and everyone who was working behind the scenes to get this program to you. We say God bless you and see you all tomorrow. Bye bye for now.